Have you ever imagined that just by slipping a little, an elderly person could suffer a serious fracture? As it turns out, it's not just that. There are three hidden dangers that lurk in the bones of the elderly and are often not realized until it's too late. Danger number one: osteoporosis, the silent bone destroyer. Osteoporosis is often dubbed the silent disease because of its slow but deadly process. This disease attacks the bone structure from within, making it porous, brittle, and prone to fracture, even just from minor activities such as bending over, coughing hard, or falling slightly. Horrifyingly, most elderly people are unaware that their bones are being damaged. There is no specific pain in the early stages. There are no outward signs that can be seen immediately. Until one day, someone falls and suddenly breaks their pelvis, wrist, or even their spine. That's when osteoporosis is usually detected, unfortunately, too late. According to WHO data, osteoporosis affects more than 200 million people worldwide, and this risk increases dramatically with age. In Indonesia alone, many elderly people experience mobility problems due to brittle bones, which can actually be prevented early on. Women have a higher risk, especially after menopause, due to a decrease in the hormone estrogen, which accelerates bone loss. What is also often overlooked is that a diet low in calcium from a young age, lack of exposure to sunlight, which activates vitamin D, and lack of physical activity are the main triggers. Unfortunately, modern lifestyles often make older people less mobile and more sedentary, exacerbating their bone condition. Important to remember, osteoporosis is not a natural part of the aging process. It is a disease that can be prevented and controlled. With a diet high in calcium and vitamin D, lightweight exercise such as walking or senior exercises, and regular bone density checks, the risk of osteoporosis can be kept much lower. Danger number two: microfractures, a small injury that can be catastrophic. Microfractures are small cracks in the bone that often go undetected and feel like normal pain. But don't be fooled. These small cracks can turn into serious fractures if ignored. In the elderly, this condition is much more dangerous as their bones have lost their density and elasticity. Unlike large fractures that are obvious through swelling or deformity, microfractures often just feel like aches, pains, or discomfort when moving. Many seniors think it's just the usual aches and pains of age. In fact, it could be an early signal of bone damage that will worsen over time. Daily activities such as light lifting, climbing up and down stairs, or even coughing hard can trigger microfractures in the elderly, especially in the spine, pelvis, or legs. And when these fractures go untreated, the body will adjust movements to reduce pain, which can subconsciously lead to slouched posture, imbalance, and a higher risk of falls. Many cases of elderly people who end up hospitalized for severe fractures start with microfractures that are ignored. This can be the start of a chain of serious complications: limited mobility, dependence on others, and even a drastic reduction in quality of life. Early screening is essential. Persistent pain, even if mild, should not be ignored. Doctors can perform imaging tests, such as X-ray or MRI, to detect hidden microfractures. Remember, for the elderly, no injury is truly trivial. It is better to be vigilant from the start than to regret it later. Danger number three: sarcopenia, loss of muscle, increased risk of falls, and fractures. One more hidden danger that seniors are rarely aware of: sarcopenia. This is a condition of loss of muscle mass and strength as we age. It may sound trivial, but in fact, sarcopenia is a major trigger of body imbalance, weakness, and a very high risk of falling. And when an elderly person falls, their already fragile bones can immediately break, a very dangerous combination. Muscles and bones work like a team. Strong muscles help support the bones and keep the body stable. But when muscles start to shrink, the body loses strength and reflexes slow down. As a result, older people become easily unsteady, have difficulty getting up from sitting, or even stumble when walking on flat surfaces. Sarcopenia usually starts slowly in your 40s, but symptoms become more pronounced in your 60s and above. Surprisingly, this condition can occur despite normal body weight, as fat can replace muscle tissue without realizing it. Many elderly people who look healthy have actually lost strength due to sarcopenia. Contributing factors include lack of movement, insufficient protein intake, and medical conditions such as diabetes or chronic inflammation. Even short-term immobilization, such as complete bed rest after an illness, can drastically accelerate muscle loss. In fact, sarcopenia can be prevented and combated. Regular exercise, especially light strength training such as lifting small weights, elderly exercises, or yoga, is very effective in maintaining muscle mass. Coupled with adequate protein intake, vitamin D, and quality sleep, the elderly can remain active and independent. In essence, maintaining muscle is maintaining independence, because when muscles weaken, bones are at risk, and life can change in an instant just because of one small fall.